a triple. He just get a kill on his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter, right? Jones just still going. He finds 3 as well.
Might do the smoke and finds 2. That might just be a free use find. It's disgusting from Dragons. Lovely stuff from Sergio.
Oh my god.
Saki, TJ, and Breaker, you'll go back to the respawn.
Oh my god, Breaker finds 3.
TJ just finds 3 massive kills for his team. Ladies and gents, welcome to week number 4 of the EU Gears Pro League. My name is Tun, and I am here with Fru once again. Nice little wink on the camera as per usual. You're not doing your salute anymore. I used to. Is that when you sign off?
That's on the way out.
That's on the way off. He's got. He's even got that locked down. Oh, guys, welcome back. I said we are halfway through. We're over halfway through, I should say, into week number 4. We now have everybody who's already played each other once, and we go into the second round of round robin, if you like, where everyone else plays each other once again, and then we will obviously have a definitive end in a couple of weeks' time. Very excited for this one, though, Fru. We're back to the beginning once again, where we do actually have 2 cracking games coming up. Excited for this, and we're at an interesting point on the standings already, I would like to say as well. It's something quite tasty.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we can have a look at that leaderboard now as it comes up. Rated R sat up there at the top. Flawless so far, 3 wins out of 3 weeks, and looking to continue that today. Elevate just behind them, though, with that 1 loss in week 1 to Rated R. They'll not be playing them today. Actually, it's a recap of those week 2 games this time round, so they will see Rated R in one of the future weeks. But yeah, hot on their heels, and then Regal Reserve. Obviously, it's a bit of a sad spot for Regal, you think, because they've had so many games where one more round would have turned the swing of things, and realistically they could be at the top 2. So almost a three-way tie at the top in terms of skill at least. And Obey, sadly, they're missing the mark, aren't they?
Yeah, just not looking great for them so far. And week number 1, it didn't look too bad from them, but since then things have just continued to be mediocre at best, unfortunately, for Obey Alliance, but maybe they could turn around this week. However, let's have a look at how things did play out last week and who the leaders were on the stat side of things. Of course, we're like a stat here at EGL, of course, and at the EU Gears Pro League. I mean, the top KD coming in there from Phelpsy is no surprise after how we've seen him play. I mean,
he was
ridiculous. I mean, the 4-piece that came up was just incredible. One of the best players I've seen this season so far.
Yeah, 100%. It really was fantastic. It was on Bunker. If you want to go and see that play, obviously check out the highlights that Chris put together last week. But no surprise in terms of the rest of the the stats that we've got going on here. Elevate, topping the tables. It's a bit of a return to form for them, I seem, Chris.
Yeah, things are looking a little bit better for them, it has to be said. I'm super interested when they do go up against Rated R once again. I think, that's going to be obviously deciding whether or not Rated R will be finishing first and Elevate finishing first. It is going to be a really interesting time, but of course we do have a couple more games to go before we do get to that one. But, I mean, other than that, the fact that we are seeing Elevate there, I think you're right. It's very much a return to form. And the fact that we're seeing Phelpsy, the one up there as well, is a scary thing for the rest of the league, I feel. We talk about nearly everybody else on that team, I feel, apart from Phelpsy. And the fact that he's up there causing that amount of damage is a scary thing. If he's playing like that and the rest of the team keep playing at their level as well, they're going to look very, very good. But let's talk about the first game. Let's talk about Obey against Elevate. Now, Elevate, as I said, are looking better, but let's talk about Obey first. Things have not been great. They really haven't. In week number 1, as I said there before, it wasn't looking too bad in their game against Regal. They pushed them all the way. They arguably could have won it 2-0. Were unfortunate to actually be forced to a map number 3, and then they get smoked on that one, of course. But at the same time, they could be in a better position than they are now if a little bit of luck went their way. But at the same time, you've got to put some blame on themselves.
Yeah. You can give that bad luck omen the benefit of the doubt, I guess. It was one of those things where they just couldn't help it, right? A little disconnect here, and it took all momentum from under the sails. And for them, that's heartbreak, because you're right. They were just a round away from winning that 2-0, and that could have really set them up here for success throughout the rest of the Pro League. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much about that week 1. It's about today. They've got a rematch against Elevate coming up. Last time they played, it was 5-2, 5-2. They had a few moments where, actually they looked pretty good. They just couldn't pull it together at the end of time. So maybe this week's the time for them. Maybe they can, start to close out a game or 2.
Maybe, and hopefully for them, because they need to start doing it quickly, don't they? I don't think it's going to be this week against Elevate, although, I would say that it does seem as if it seems to be us and them with Obey, doesn't it? Everybody else is performing at a high level. Regal are unfortunate to probably not be higher than they are. Rated R look great. Elevate are getting better. Obey is just sort of same old. But then when it comes to the requalification process, nobody can beat them either. So it's difficult to say. They are in a tough spot right now and need to start changing something in the league. Could it be this week against Elevate? I'm not too sure. But let's speak about Elevate. As said, they do seem to be getting better. Do we think that? I mean, it's very hard to say, and this is all very theoretical, of course, but if they do go up against Rated R now, do you think it would be a very different story, or do you think it's, once again, just a close game?
I don't know. Elevate, for me, have been looking better and better as the weeks have gone on.
Yeah.
Their game against Rated R in week 1 was a tough loss for them, for sure, but they've been in that situation before in that winter quarter. The fall quarter, we saw exactly the same thing. Rated R beating them in week 1, and from there on, they had pretty much a flawless circuit, right? A flawless quarter. I kind of feel like we're in that same boat again. I feel like Elevate, coming off that tough loss over in Mexico City, that tough performance, they were down and out in that week 1. They really were. But now we're seeing the Elevate of old again. We're seeing Phelpsy put up big numbers. We're seeing the rest of the team looking very, very good. So I would expect them to come out and put on a good performance here.
Yeah, they are very much expected to. Let's talk about the last time that these two teams played as well. It was very one-sided for Elevate, it has to be said. Not too much of a surprise in all honesty. Let's actually bring those stats in as well. 2-0 to Elevate. That time around 5-2, 5-2. Very convincing. I mean, look at the KDAs last time around as well. Crimson's 3.28. You brought up that. Let's just point out, obviously, the stats on the leaderboards have changed, but we are trying to sort of keep up with that one as well. But this is the last time, of course, when the leaderboards were the way they were. 3.28 from Crimson's. Phenomenal on him. But then if you look at the whole of Obey Land, they just got outplayed completely across the board.
Yeah. It was one of those weeks where they really weren't at the races in terms of the scoreboard, at least. The KDAs down there, I mean, Breaker almost hitting that 1.0, sadly. Just wasn't in the match, to be honest with you. And across the board, they were pretty low. I mean, to have a top KDA of 1.78 there for Ashens for the whole of the team.
It's rough.
And the bottom one for Elevate 2.08 there on Crazed. That's it's not great. It's not great. As we said last quarter, the average was around 2.0, pretty much across the board. So anything lower than that, you're subpar. Elevate, they were definitely above. Obey were definitely below here.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good for them whatsoever. But I mean, look, that was a couple of weeks ago now. Things maybe have changed, but I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully on the Easter break, Obey have maybe grinded some games out. And, a lot of people have got plenty of spare time on their hands at the moment, has to be said. So maybe scrims have been a little bit easier to come by. I don't know. I don't think anyone would really, in their right mind, be picking Elevate in this series. But let's have a look at the picks and bans. I do believe we'll have them nearly ready to go. So we will bring that. Oh, we've got them ready to go. Look at that. Thank you very much, Matt. Perfect. So Bunker gone, Icebound gone. Training Grounds then picked by Obey, which I like because we have actually seen Elevate ban that, as far as I'm aware, a couple of times. Exhibit then being picked by Elevate. I do not like that for Obey. Ban then coming in for Asylum and District from Obey, so they pretty much picked Vascar after that. Vascar seems to be one of the go-tos for a lot of people right now, but Training Grounds and Exhibit are the picks for the team specifically. What are we thinking of those two?
I think Training Grounds is a good one for Obey, to be honest with you. It's a map that sometimes gets banned out against them. It's a map that we have seen Elevate ban in the past as well on that first pick. So
yeah,
I don't hate it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure it's going to make too much difference in the grand scheme of things, but I think that opening fight is a fight that Obey have looked pretty good at, especially over by the north side on that U shape. So it's it's going to be an interesting match. The Exhibit pick was pretty much certain. The moment that Obey let that one through, Elevate are going to pick it against you. They know they're the best team on Exhibit in Europe. Globally, maybe not so much. We'll not talk about that one today. But honestly, this was a map that Obey banned out first last time around. It was the first ban of the series. They've let it slip through this time around, maybe trying to get onto a different map pool, which is not the worst of things, given that you lost 2-0 last time.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how Obey play it. Maybe they've been practicing.
Maybe they have. I think something you said there, though, is it going to make too much of a difference? It's hard to say. Look, when they did play each other last season, I remember, I think it was Bunker, wasn't it, where it went to like a last round in a certain map. I don't think it was a 2-1. I think it was a 2-0 victory for Elevate in that case. But they can force them in that direction. They can force them to like the nitty gritty if you are Obey here. And I don't know. We need to see a really good performance across the board. We haven't really seen anyone in particular play very, very well week in, week out for them, and just find themselves unfortunate. It really has been across the board that they haven't been pulling their weight across the board. But we do actually have our head-to-head of who we think is going to be influential in this game. And we've actually thrown it within Breaker and Phelpsy. Now, the reason for Breaker, I think, is last time around they played each other, Breaker had a really, really bad series. As we could have seen from the graphic before, I think it was like a 1.28. His overall is 1.65. Not having the best quarter, is he?
No, that's exactly why we put him up here. He didn't have the best quarter. He's not had the best quarter, sorry. But all things considered, his game against Elevate last time around wasn't a good performance for him. I think he'll admit that. I think we're fine in saying that as well. It's one of those things where he's in this head-to-head because if he steps it up, maybe that's the gear that Obey find, and maybe they can take a few more rounds from Elevate and maybe try and push a map against them. But they need every member to be contributing, and Breaker last time he wasn't. This time around, fingers crossed he will. We'll have a good series on our hand. Yeah,
I mean, in terms of eliminations, he does struggle, but he's very much one of the players that does the objective for his team. He's very much somebody who is focusing on the task at hand rather than trying to find as many kills as possible at times. So let's see what he can do in different areas for his team in this one. But as you said, like Phelpsy was so good last week, and if he can perform at this level once again, it's going to be very, very difficult for Obey. When Ellie ready to go, I do believe we are loading into the game now as well. Predictions for this one, Fro? I think it's a pretty easy one.
It's pretty straightforward, Chris. Yeah. So we're going to go with the 2-0. It's going to be Elevate. I will be happy to see otherwise, but I think that's the safest bet right now.
Yeah, I think you would put your mortgage on this one being an Elevate win. But let's have a look at how it is going to break down. Training Grounds coming up first, then Exhibit, then Vazgar. I don't think we see Vazgar either. I think this is going to be 2-0 to Elevate. Let's see if Obey can bring something, though. If I can get a good performance out of them, I'd be happy. I think in any weeks we'd be struggling to vote against Elevate against most people. So let's see. Can Obey bring it to them? As I said, though, looking at those stats, Elevate haven't played on Training Grounds yet this season. Yeah, Obey Lions have, and they have a win on it. So can they do that here against consensus #1 team in Europe, although Reddit are really trying to force that issue towards themselves. But here we go, Elevate against Obey. Week number 4, we're past the halfway point now. Can Obey start turning up their season in the second half?
Very, very good question. One of the key points of that will be this opening fight over by this U-shape over here. As we said earlier in the pre-show, Obey, they have found success in this fight, Chris. They've been pretty good at it in the past, and they often can find themselves victors coming out of this fight. But this time around, Elevate, they've opened strong. They've managed to get a couple of kills off the bat. Looks like they're going to force this all the way through to the home hills as well.
Difficult fight for Obey that will have to back on down. Cog domination is denied, though, as Elevate are going to be able to spread themselves across the map. I like this move from J-Rage, though, just making sure he is on top of exactly where Elevate are, just making the push around, just trying to cause a distraction, although he has been caught in a really nice pinch by Elevate. Should be taken down, but does actually survive, and here comes the aggressive push from the rest of Obey. And for all that, yeah, J-Rage goes down there. The amount of distraction he's caused has allowed Obey Alliance to maybe get a little bit more real estate here. They'll get a bit more control over towards B. So it has worked out. Jack is the only one to go down, though, as Hydra and Crimson start to combine and start to down Saki. Ashens follows suit. And for all the distraction that did come through, Elevate are the ones in control.
Yeah, they really are in control. You can see the point lead already starting to tick up here, 30 points ahead. They've got full control of that mid-street. They've got the overlook as well. They're pretty much in full control across the whole map now. Obey, they are looking to try and take over through that home route side, but there's a good defense there from Elevate setup. Top right on that minimap, you can see 2 members of Elevate are just kind of pushing up here. On the bottom side, though, you do see Obey trying to make a little push round onto that B hill as well. Jack set in a good place here just to offer a little bit of supporting fire, and you can see all the downs coming out, Chris. Look at that, 3-4 downs in a row. There are some revive trains coming out, but Jack's in a good position to take advantage of this now. Pushing forward, should be able to get a double kill here, does indeed. And that should be an elimination victory on this first round.
Nicely done by Elevate in the end. Was never looking like a round that Obey were going to win. Really well played by Elevate. Just grinding it out, got the kills where they needed to, and quite a few of them at that. Nicely done. And only one kill coming on the side of Obey Alliance that round. The fact that they lasted so long in that round and only found one kill between them is quite a testament to how they actually were rotating around, but Elevate very wise to it, and if you aren't getting the kills, that is very much something that is a detriment to your gameplay, and obviously Obey falling victim to that one. So loadout coming through, no surprises there. Very much wanting to play this round similar, and I'd imagine we'll see all these flashes being lobbed in towards B, or maybe up towards the top bridge side. Here with Crimsons though. See what it can do. Flash goes over. Once again, this fight over towards you. J-Rage and Cope are the first ones there though. They are going to get to that further advanced cover, and the aggression comes in from them. Crimsons, that's your teammate, mate, and they will have to back on down. Breaker's going to drop him, but he will get picked back up. Jack is sent to the respawn queue, unfortunately. Crimsons, nice shot, but that is unfortunately your teammate.
Yeah, not the best of openings there, but you gotta give it to Obey. They're trying to capitalize on this now. You can see the decap coming on the C hill now, so that's the Elevate home hill that is now in Obey Alliance's hands. And from that, you can see on the minimap, Elevate are starting to rotate around, trying to get a little bit of control over on that swarm side of things. They're just waiting for their team to come off spawn here, and they'll fashion a play from that. Looks like the home hill is going to be a retake attempt in just a second. But they're putting a bit of pressure over towards the A side, just to try and draw as many people from Obey as possible over back towards the Swarm side of the map. And once that happens, once you see Swarm start to move, that's when Elevate will start to pounce on their home hill. Phelpsy now being a bit of a nuisance. Trying to just tease Obey Alliance out of this position here, but Obey, they've got a very strong setup, and they're not falling for this bait at all.
I like this from Obey. They're just sitting back, being passive. They are actually going to end up losing C. And the looks things, Hydron has made that push, but Obey trying to come back, and unfortunately it's in the Lancer Fire. It is going to be J-Rage going down. Hydron cleans that one up as well. This good advanced position from Phelpsy as well is probably going to send Saki backwards just a little bit. The aggression comes through though. It's not going to pay off. Obey are going to be able to hold on to A only momentarily though. It did get decapped, and Crimsons is going to be able to get out. But Obey, for all the control they had, that win condition now belongs to Elevate. TJ going to go down as well, called out by Jack, and it's a nice retake by Elevate now. They have their home hill, they have B, and they're exactly in the position that they'd want to be in.
Yeah, exactly. And the play that Elevate were crafting worked very well for them in the end. You saw the take on C. It was just slowly inching up, wasn't it? Just ever so slowly, cover by cover, just making their way towards each hill. Eventually they did pounce on their home hill, and that was the right choice, in my opinion, to go for the home hill. You lose a player there, you can back off and you can wait for that respawn coming up, and now Jack, in that familiar situation, picks up another double kill. Fantastic Lancer Fire, and then fantastic finishing there. Composure.
Yep.
Fantastic kills.
Nice and simple, in all honesty. Just found a very, very nice little angle to set up on the second kill, and it's easily done. 2 men down in the blink of an eye, and so on the Obey Alliance, what do you got to work with? Very little to get this one back in 10 seconds. 230. And rising for Elevate. The win condition is with them. It will stay with them as well towards the end of this round. That's going to be 2-0 now. Nice and comfortable, in all honesty. Feels like Elevate maybe have their feet up a little bit. 2-0 now, looking very, very composed, in all honesty. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a chink in the armor, and Obey really aren't the ones testing it, has to be said. Looking at this, though, not many kills across the board whatsoever for Obey so far. Elevate looking very, very nice. Nice and clean here.
Yep, very clean. And honestly, it was all about that retake attempt. They managed to get the decap at the same time. And from that, the point lead just skyrocketed, and you saw them there. Even though they were in a pretty rough situation, even though they spent a lot of time trying to figure out that play, pushing out from B to try and take the 2 home hills.
Here we go.
50-point lead or so.
Here we go. Drop shot down. I haven't seen many mid placements the past couple of weeks, has to be said. It has stagnated a little bit, if you like, through. We've seen quite a lot of it when it did change round to 5 rounds, that these mid drops were very, very important. We haven't seen too much of it as of recent. And these initials don't often go the way of Elevate every single time against Obey, so let's see if they can get something going here. If they can, they could get a hold of this drop shot. Crimsons is going to find 1 and 2, though. The drop comes in. He will find a 3rd potentially here as well. Nicely done by Crimsons.
Oh, no.
He's not going to find the 4th. He will be forced back, but in the end, the damage was already done. Breaker didn't answer back, but now he's being flanked. Is he going to find a kill to try and get himself out of this one? Puts the shots in. It will be traded, but unfortunately, The teammate is there for Elevate. Hydron just about getting his teammate back up, backing on down. They have control of mid. They have control of B. They have the drop shot. Everything they could want Elevate. No points on the board for Obey so far.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. And you gotta take down Crim there if you're Obey in that situation.
Yeah.
You really do. He was so weak, and it was a 1v3 situation. It was definitely not his to win there, and he made the best of a very bad situation. But honestly, that was more Obey letting him do that, right? It was a fantastic play.
Yeah, the first two were nice. The third was Go on, mate. I'll let you finish your point.
Oh, just saying they shouldn't have been in that position. they should have been able to clean that up pretty easily, given how weak he was. But they gave him the Gib potential, right? And they ended up forfeiting a 1v3, which is fantastic for Elevate. And now they're in such a good position because of it.
Just Crimson things, though, has to be said. You have to make the play, even if it is presented to you on a silver platter, so to speak. But one of the drop shots coming out there from Elevate, so not finding anything with that, and it's a big push over towards A coming out of Obey now. Phelpsy can't really do a great deal apart from butter them up yet. Won't do his best at doing that. Is he going to find any drops? Not quite, but he has maybe slowed them down a little bit. Push now coming over towards top bridge, and Obey do have the numbers. Hydron's not going to land that first, but he does land the second shot. We'll get the cleanup as well. That's a nice spread over towards the left-hand side. Surely not going to find a third or fourth. Does eventually get taken down, but once again, slowing them down as best he can. The shots were put in, the pressure was put in. Konku somehow dominating with all this pressure that's come in from Obey. They will get a hold of C eventually. Elevate rotated around and just made sure they were putting resources where Obey were not. A and B is what they have. The win condition alongside it as well, with 23 seconds remaining for Elevate on a 2-cap here. This is going to be broken though, as Obey do decap B and will want to get control of their own home hill if possible. They already have that, so they'll be making the push through towards it.
Phelps, he's just got behind him though. Even though the fight's going to go down here for this drop shot, it doesn't really matter. There's another fight at the B hill, and if Elevate win that, that will be it. Good kills coming in here from Ashens, but you see only 15 seconds. On the other side of things, actually, Phelpsy did fall, so this could be an Obey Alliance round. If they can get the decap here on the A hill, which it looks like they're going to do, everyone winning their 1v1s, this might just be from the jaws of defeat. An Obey Alliance round. How have they won that?
I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no clue. See, this is what annoys me about Obey at times. Like they sometimes just come up with something like that. But 90% of the time, they can't put anything together, but they get it done either way. To mind yours and the chat's not necessarily dismay, but just a bewilderment, if anything. But here we go. That's the stats so far from the spring quarter from all these players.
Yep.
Phelpsy sitting at the top there for a little bit. Yeah, it's mostly been Crimsons are crazed, doesn't it? But yeah, last week is a big influence on that. Very true.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and to be fair, this week should only add to that. If you can replicate those numbers, which you should be able to.
Let's see.
Crimson's 8-3, 2 deaths, 11-2 right now.
It's quite good.
Yep.
It's quite good.
Bad at all.
It's an alright player, Crim. Has to be said. Flash in here as well. Chooses not to use it, but does have support from his team up top. Defensively comes in. Once again, fighting over this drop shot. Got a nice angle here as well, just to make sure they don't push it. A bit of a fight going on towards B as well. It is actually going to be Obey who managed to get a hold of that. Crazed is there to try and find the kill before making the push, but Elevate have have invested quite a lot over towards B here. Can they find anything for it? Crazed will get a hold of B, sorry. As this drop shot is still being fought over. Obey seem to be forcing the issue here. Are gaining a lot of ground up top. The drops are going to come through as well. Jack's the first one to go. Hydron is able to answer back with 1 kill. Crimson's goes down. Phelpsy will get a hold of the drop shot though. Can he get out or do something with it? He's in a good position to help out his teammate here. Hydron's still going. Drop shot goes up in the air. Not going to find anything with that, but may be able to back on down. And if anything, the fact that he's just actually stopped Obey getting a hold of this is probably just as crucial as finding kills with it. Nicely done by Phelpsy, sorry, as Obey do eventually get control. They do have B as well, but it could have been a lot worse for Elevate.
It could have been, honestly. The only reason it wasn't there is because Obey managed to get a team kill. Someone flew around, got on a pay, and ended up wiping out their teammate on this left-hand corner here in front of Crim. And from that, Obey just didn't have the numbers really to push up. And now, talking of numbers, Elevate, they have a bit of a pinch maneuver coming on here. As you can see, Jack coming around the bottom here. Flashbang. Just go long. All that does is force the person who's defending that home street to have to back off a little bit as Jack tries to push through and tries to get a couple of kills there. Didn't work out in the end, but a good play nonetheless. And yeah, definitely a well-crafted one. And now, Elevate, they are going to push around towards this A hill. Crazed, the sole member of Elevate on that left-hand side of the map, just defending the home hill as he knows his team are trying to fight it out over by the A hill right now. Phelpsy is going to get crossed out. Got to be careful. Saki up on that high ground. A lot of damage here. And now, oh, that's a great up A, but it should be enough for Obey now to try and get... No, they've downed their own teammate again. And this is one of the reasons why they're struggling so much in this round, is team kills.
Looking for them, though. They are going to come back off spawn and get a hold of A once again. 25 seconds remaining for their win condition to pop up, but once again, Jack is there to just slow down this round for Obey Alliance. Elevate will be able to slow it down, I should say. Jack is going to try and get a hold of B, but we'll have to back on down. For all that, they do lose control of A, and the drop shot's probably going to be coming up quite shortly as well. They need to do something here, Elevate. They need to do something quickly. Hydron pushing through. One respawn for him, one respawn for Jack. Obey definitely growing into this game. Phelpsy's going to go down as well. There should be an Obey Alliance round, barring an absolute miracle. 3 seconds to go now. Hydron keeps on pushing and goes down for his efforts, but either way, Obey Alliance 2 in a row.
Hey, yeah.
That was nice. I don't want to say it was nice and comfortable, but they played it well. At no point were they really behind in that round, and Obey, as said, do tied up 2 apiece now.
That's it, isn't it? That's a fair first half from Obey Alliance. I like what I'm seeing, and that drop shot placement, it's been the right thing, hasn't it? It's done well so far for Obey.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think we see enough drop placements, mid-drop placements from teams, especially when they're behind. And like, I just don't understand it when you're behind in a game and you just keep mirroring exactly what the other team are doing. It's like, well, I mean, you're not trying anything different. And that's sort of my argument against, you know, just mirroring all the time. If you're behind, you should be trying to change something up. But either way, it is a risk you sometimes take. Oh, I've seen this scenario before. Crimson's in this position, finds one. That is a long range.
Almost perfect.
Almost. Doesn't quite land, though. A little bit further behind than they would have liked, and all these pickups start coming through. The inside means Breaker can't actually make the push through to help his teammate out, and he will go down. Breaker now in a horrible spot. He's going to get a little bit of help here. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. TJ is going to go down. The drop shot will belong to Elevate. The round may belong to Elevate as well. F is the only thing that's left, and they are flying towards it. But we'll back on down. They have the drop shot. Nothing crazy needing to be done here. Have all the control they would like. Have all the weapons they would like as well. Keep an eye on which way this one goes. It is going to be Hydron with that in his hands. So that drop shot is going to be influential in the rest of the round. I'd imagine they'll try and find a couple of kills with this and then try and finish Obey off.
Yep, you would you definitely assume that.
There's a couple of kills coming here.
Yeah, you think so, right? Hydron just sat there with the pistol. They'll try and get it down first, I believe. And now here goes the drop shot. Does connect with TJ. Didn't get that double kill that they were after, but now if Hydron loops around, he should be able to get another kill very, very easily here. And Incend wasted at the same time as well, and that's not ideal because it blocks the route off a little bit for Hydron. And Hydron is now going to go down, but Craze does come, saves the day, helps his teammate out there, and now Crimson's over by this home hill. Just going to get that recap again, and with a point lead now, Elevate. Looking pretty strong here, 40 points up. Crimson in a 1v1. 2v2 now as Hydron comes as back up here, and who is that up the stairs? That's very, very brave. It was Saki. I say brave.
Yeah, I was stupid. Yeah. I was going to question the use of the word brave. I think you were very, very right in your correction. Stupid might have been the better word, but for all that, they have actually got control of it. To a point. F now in the hands of absolutely nobody, but at least it's not Elevates. Saying that, kill start roll through. A couple coming in their direction. TJ, nice kill on the Crimsons. Can he find a second onto Jack, trying to do as much damage as he can. He is going to go down to the Lancer of Phelpsy, though. And now if you're Elevate, you need to push. This win condition is with Obey, but a couple of members have went down. The respawn queue is quite quick, though. That's a nice Incend out of Phelpsy, though.
Very good Incend.
Breaker gonna have to back on down, drop down as well. Phelpsy cleans up the second. This should be E in the hands of Elevate.
It should be indeed. A shot grenade just going to block any access into there either, and the drop is going to come up, so that should be another drop shot over to the hands of Elevate. Hydron is going to pick that one up. Had good luck with it last time around, 2 kills from 2 shots. Does get the down on J-Rage, using that pistol to its full effect.
And the thing is here as well is the fact that they've lost E, they lose the drop shot at the same time. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it, if you're losing this fight towards the mid, especially when this drop shot comes up.
I love the up A attempt on the drop shot.
Would you expect anything else less flashy out of Elevate?
It's just that little bit of style, isn't it?
Yeah. As Ashen's gets an absolute kicking on the floor, but there we are. Elevate 3-2 up now, trying to regain some stability in this one because it wasn't looking great. Has to be said, Obey were coming back into this one. Interested to see what they choose to do here. Elevate are the ones making the first pick, and it's just going to be a loadout by the looks of things. Pistol put in there for Hydron, so keep an eye on the Boltox and what they're going to be doing. I'd imagine it's going to be the same sort of thing on the side of Obey Alliance. Yes, it is. Not choosing to half their shock. Very much invested in getting a hold of this mid-drop and then working from there.
I kind of feel like that's the right choice, though. Like, I believe that. Yeah, although they're not going to have the shock up as soon.
It's about this first fight, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all about getting the drop shot. TJ, he's going to get it now, but oh, it's a big miss by Hydron and another one. That's uncharacteristic.
And
TJ got a triple
found
kill
2
as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Now it's a down. That is awful from Hydron. That is very, very uncharacteristic from him. You never see him miss.
It's usually just consistency, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps we got on stream the one mistake he'll make.
Yeah. He'll be letting us know about it if he has a good game after this one. But as he said, TJ, bad drop shot there. He did well with the first though, so we'll maybe forgive him, as Obey Alliance do not actually have control after all that pressure that they gained at the beginning. And this has been sort of a bit of a staple of Obey, that they find the kills on occasion and then just don't find much else. But really well played by TJ up top. He will find a couple of kills. Jack is going to go down as well, as is J-Rage to his teammates Lancer once again. But either way, Obey do now have control of E.
Yep.
Second round of kills came through for them. You almost feel as if they should have maybe had control after the first round of kills, but here we are.
And that was good from TJ. That was very smart. He realized that, yes, his own grenade's not going to up, but he had time to go over to Elevate's side and grab the incendiary grenade from Elevate's side, from their home pick. So that's actually going to be benefit to Obey Alliance here. Ashen's going to go down there with a bit of a noob roll, sadly. He's going to get taken out, and now a push comes in. J-Rage, he's back to the respawn. And now Elevate, they're going to go over towards this D-hill, and this should be a pretty simple retake, so long as they don't get burned.
Breaker trying to make the push through, just needs to stay alive here and wait on the rest of his team. Hydron just trying to force him out, doesn't need to do much else. They're in control of the round here. They just need to get a hold of E, and the domination should tick on through, but keeping a hold of D is going to be the hard job here. Crimson's probably going to have to back on down. Breaker is his target. He will find it with the help of his teammates, and they will back down. 50 seconds remaining for a COG win condition, that being Elevate. And imagine they maybe want to get this one done a little bit earlier. We can see the pressure still coming in over towards D. Although they do now back on down. Ready for this drop shot coming up once again. And also aware of the overextension over towards F. Hydron does actually get a hold of the shock grenade. That could be something that could be used to help defend over towards this F side, I should say, as the drop shot goes into their hands as well. Crimson's just trying his best to stay alive as the push from Obey does eventually come in. Phelpsy here to help try and defend, waiting for his teammate to get round and maybe try and get him up, but Ashens is going to find the kill. Can he find anything else? Doesn't need to. The rest of his team are there. J-Rage is the only casualty. Really nice push from Obey, but they need to find something for it.
Yeah, they need to, and they need to not die there to Crazed. You can see you're going to have Elevate spawning up behind them if they don't win this quick, and in the end, it's going to be elimination victory. No one going to spawn back up. J-Rage was actually completely out of lives as well, so wasn't even able to. And now Elevate just one round away from taking this first map. Looking a little bit better in the second half.
Out of lives and not looking great, has to be said. Only 2 rounds into the second half, and of course Elevate winning both of those will find themselves 1 away from winning map number 1. I thought there was going to be a bit of a fight back from Obey there, but again, they find the kills. They push forward, but then don't find much else for it. I don't know if it's just the kills they're finding are inconsequential at times, but that was a good push round towards the F side.
Yep.
But they didn't have anybody on the hill capturing when they're so far behind. You need to be getting points at all times. I know the kills are important too, but I don't know. Here we go. Crimson's once again finds the first down. Does have help from his teammates. And TJ is oh, the reaction knife. Oh, my word. He just spins and slashes him in the face and drops TJ. Phelpsy will find the drop shot as well. Breaker's going to get caught with a roll. Hydro and easily enough going to clean that one up and will get picked up by Phelpsy. Really good start to the round by Elevate. That was insane.
That really
spun and shanked him.
Hey, it was good to see that. It was good to see. And now Elevate, they're not far off from closing this one out, to be honest with you. They need to get a couple of kills over by this home hill fight now. Flashbang's going to come out, but TJ can't do anything about it. Going to go down very, very, very quickly. Craze gets another kill on the corner here. That's going to be TJ as well. He's dead. And now there's only a couple of members of Obey Alliance alive now. Should just be business as usual for Elevate as they look to close this one out. Another 5-2 potentially on the cards.
Yeah. Obey seemed defeated. Flying in there one by one a little bit. Breaker trying his best. Not able to find anything. Ashens is going to be able to deny this domination, but for how long? Here comes the push once again from Elevate. Nice play by Ashens. Good spread there as well. And hey, I tell you what, it's looking like an Elevate win, but Ashens, that's on for the highlight reel. 3 in a row just to keep his team in the game. Can he continue? Yeah, that was really, really nice. TJ's here to help him over towards E as well. And he continues. Very nicely done. Obey Alliance for all that. They are behind in this one. They are getting back into it potentially. If they only had a hold of their home hill, yeah, that would have helped things. But the win condition may well still lie with Elevate here.
I think so. Especially when you see that J-Rage, he's dead and out, and Breaker,
God, yeah.
He's dead and out.
Oh yeah, okay,
Saki's got no more lives. TJ's now down to 1 as well, 0. Once he respawns, this is going to be an Elevate. This is going to be an Elevate 5-2. There is almost nothing. I'm not going to count him out completely, but there is almost nothing that Obey could do about this one.
Poor
it's
TJ.
now a 5v1 situation. They should just, they should clean this one out.
Well,
they're going to go for the domination though,
yeah,
and it's going to be a 5-2 first map.
I think TJ had admitted defeat at that point. That's how to Obey by the looks of things. Ashens tried his best in that last round, but couldn't get anything done. There you go, 5-2 for Elevate, which seems to be the scoreline they'd like to beat Obey at. It's, the last 3 maps now they played against each other has been 5-2 to Elevate. Can they continue this form in the next one that we will see very, very shortly? I mean, I just don't really know what to say about it. It's just convincing for Elevate. There's not too much to delve into. They outslayed them where they need to. The couple of rounds that Obey got were nice from them, but then that's what annoys me more than anything is that I sometimes see actual sparks out of Obey, but then they're just inconsistent. At times they look pretty good, and then the rest of the time they just don't seem to be able to get anything done.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. We see it week in, week out. The consistency of Obey Alliance is non-existent. It's just not there. And yeah, you get triple kills from Ashens, and then you get Breaker noob rolling into Hydro shotgun, or TJ getting shanked in a 180 spin like it's no one's business. It's just one of those things where if you're Obey, it sucks, but it's just how it is right now for you guys. And there's something missing that you need to find. And for us, we got to look at Elevate. It's another convincing victory for them, right? It's another good map win there, and they'll be looking to continue that. Going onto their strongest map is the other thing you got to think about now. Is they played Training Grounds. That was Obey's pick. Obey, they allowed Exhibit to go through the picks. Of course, Elevate are going to pick that, and now we're going to go onto it as that second map where Obey they've got to fight for their life here.
Yeah, and you need to try and do something different if you're Obey. I mean, what else do you do? There's only so much you can do up against Elevate, and I don't want to lay into them too much. Elevate are a very, very good team, and it's hard for a lot of teams to beat them. That has to be said. But Obey just struggling. They really are struggling against everybody right now. I'm interested to see how they do against Rated R and Regal once again. However, it just seems to be that they're defeated, and I feel as if this. We talked about that week number 1. If they get the win against Regal, maybe does that change their fortune somewhat? Do they maybe go on from that, gain the confidence? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Regal have improved every single week. I think Obey maybe have progressively got worse.
Yes, yeah. I don't think that's far wrong, to be honest with you. And it's weird because you had the the luxury of chatting to the Obey Alliance team before we started this, and one of the things they said was that they found a new confidence in that they were coming back home with a new grit, a new determination to maybe win some series and improve their standings. But we haven't seen it. It seems to have been all talk, which is not good for Obey. And I think you're right. I think coming in with, actually a fairly decent Mexico City performance, all things considered, to say they won one map or all of the quarter before, to go in and win a series and look pretty strong actually online, to then come back and lose that one in the fashion they did. Maybe that's, you said, the blow that...
Kick in the teeth.
That really did sort it for them. But, they need to be more resilient if that's the case. That's the only thing I can take from that.
Yeah, unfortunate for Obey. I tell you something else that's getting progressively worse. My haircut. Honestly, barbers being closed is ruining my life. It's ruining my life.
I don't know what's going on with it.
I know there's worse thing. I know there's worse things going on in the world right now, but your boy needs a haircut. I just keep seeing us every single week, just getting hairier and hairier. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the viewers at home. It's unfortunate for me. But irrelevant to my haircut, irrelevant to anything else. Let's talk about Gears of War. Where are the change of fortunes for Obey then? Where do we say it come from? Did they need another roster change? They made a pretty big change towards the beginning of the last quarter. Mm-hmm. Does something else need to change? Because I just don't know. So I don't know how I'm ever going to see this roster doing better than they are now, which is not very well, of course.
The problem you're getting right now is where did they pick from? That's the kind of the question I ask myself. If you say we want to make a roster change, you got to have someone to come in and fill that spot, right? Whoever goes, someone has to come and fill that spot. And right now, the qualification tournaments for Obey Alliance are very easy. They walk through and they 2-0 most teams. They have a couple of strong games, maybe against the Spanish team and a couple of others along the way, but there isn't a massive pool of talent that they can pick from in the European region that will perform better than the 5 that they've currently got. They've got a few options, but it's very, very difficult. And right now the question is also, who would you drop? Because Ashens has been performing very, very well.
Yeah.
Ashens and he's one of the newcomers. J-Rage is, he's been suspect, but has had fantastic weeks. You're looking at more of the kind of captaincy role at this point, in my opinion. But I'm not going to call for Breaker's Head because I really like him.
Favoritism on the EU broadcast.
No, he's just a really good guy, and I love seeing him at events and in this pro circuit. I think it's great, but something's not right, and it's at a core level with that team because it doesn't matter who's on the team. We've seen it through 2 rosters now, and something's not working. So they need to sort something out. That's for sure.
Indeed, they do. Not looking good for them, but here we go on to Elevate's so-called best map. You said through, they haven't won it yet this season.
Yeah, that's true. They got absolutely battered by Rated R.
Yeah, they did. Maybe Rated R are just better, but here we are.
We'll see.
Into it
they
we go.
6 for 6 with Rated R on this map, though. That's something to be said.
6 on rounds, I presume.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. All right, okay, well, we'll have to see if they play each other on it once again. I have a feeling that Elevate maybe will ban it out after the last time. That did happen, of course. They got smoked, but back onto it. Feel confident on it against Obey. Let's see how confident as Ashens is. The first one to go down. It will be Hydra. Didn't really put the foot wrong after we... I should say after you called him out for.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Hey, we don't get the option to, so...
yeah, it doesn't happen very often. We have to really pounce on it when we can, I suppose.
Yep. That's true.
Bit of a stalemate in the middle here, though, as Elevate on the Swarm side will get a hold of B. Here comes the push as soon as the down comes in, and just little things like that when TJ gets caught. That inevitably means Breaker's going to get caught, and this may just be the dominoes falling. It's a bit of a snowball effect, isn't it? One kill comes through, and then the rest of Elevate can just collapse on Ashens and J-Rage, who are trying to make the push in, and honestly, I really don't understand why. Wait for the rest of the team to come up, and they're good players, but I think... I mean, look, I'm not going to delve too much into that single push. They may not have known anybody was there, but it's just simple stuff. You can't push through without your teammates at least pushing somewhere else.
I think for me that was a choice of play by Elevate, though. I think if you looked at the minimap, as soon as they got these kills in this corridor here, they had 2 options. One was flank and pincer and catch Obey Alliance, from behind. The other was go to the home hill, and I think they decided that actually the safer play here was to try and take the 5v3 and just play for points and gain a massive point lead. For me, I think they had time to go and get that home hill, but they didn't know the full extent of Obey's positioning. So I think they thought, okay, it's safer just to try and flank. That's why I kind of believe Obey tried to push forward because they knew they were getting collapsed upon. But, you know, hindsight, 2020 and all that.
It is. I mean, it's easy for me to say, I suppose, because I can see where everybody is. So. Of course, it looks like a stupid push when I can see that elevator set up. Yeah, it is a bit more difficult. But here we go. Crazed now. 1 kill, 3 assists. He likes an assist as Crazed. We know the Lance of Fire coming out of him is always strong, always landing something. Bricker is going to find 2 in the middle of the map, though. Can this be the push that OB Alliance need? They're going to have to do it quickly. By any stretch of the imagination, Crazed is going to find 1 drop, and Ashen's going to kill J-Rage, and now he is going to be all alone trying to make this push, although TJ is there to help him. It's not going to be enough, though, as Elevate had already tied it up. 1-0 now, 2.5 minutes is all it took. Really good hold in the middle of the round, but Obey did threaten there. Threatened just a little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit. And do you expect anything big at this point? I think we're going to see some loadout options. Maybe even a flashbang down at those exhibits. Well, we'll see something come out, that's for sure. Utility grenade is going to be the choice there for Elevate. Expect it similar from Obey. I mean, they're hovering that mid, but I think this is just talking time.
Just figuring it out.
Yep. They can use this time to talk about other things, and the weapon, though, right? How we're going to play this next fight is one of those key bits of information that they will be
What's for dinner after this?
What's for dinner?
How's everyone else's haircut looking? Etc, etc. Although I don't feel as if anybody's that vain apart from myself to say this is the least favorite thing about this whole pandemic.
I mean, if that's the biggest thing you got to complain about, you're doing all right.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I've got to be on camera with you every week. You know, it's hard. You look so good. How am I supposed to compare? Look at that.
Flattery.
You don't get it anywhere else, do you?
No bounds.
Anyway, OB Alliance's push up top is being nullified fairly quickly. Plenty of Lancer and pistol fire coming on through. They will be pushed back, although alive.
Yep. Yeah, you saw 2 push across the top, which is something a little bit strange for this map. Usually it's 1 up and 4 down, right? You saw a 2 and a 3 this time around.
Ashen's now tried to get beat back. They did have it very, very momentarily. He will push through, but here come Elevate. Gone down one side and pushing the other as well. Phelpsy, big gunfight coming up here. I mean, he's bending bullets around the wall there at this point, but Ashen's will go down. Almost tagged up quite a bit, and Hydron should be there to help out, be in control of Elevate, as is Zayn. The win condition will be with them very, very shortly. Zaki's going to get cut down by the lasers up top.
I don't even know how. I don't even know. That should never happen at this level.
Never,
unless
never,
he's been
never.
downed. Unless he's been downed and killed by the vertical lasers, that should never happen.
I didn't see him get downed, and I'm gonna have to watch it back to confirm. Can anyone in the chat tell me if he was down? Because I don't think he was.
I don't know. I don't know. I do know that you very rarely see a laser kill on this map, so that's pretty interesting to me.
Hydronico, they're trying to close this one out. 45 seconds to go. Looking solid for them, but the push from Obey comes in towards B. Phelps & Co will have to answer back. TJ is going to find a kill on the Phelpsy, though. Can this be the starter for Obey Alliance yet? They did manage to get 2 nice rounds out of Elevate in the previous round, previous map, I should say. Can they do it here? They do have control and do have that win condition. Elevate, though, will just need a decap and a little bit of B to get a hold of it once more themselves, but they need to do it sooner rather than later. Obey now. Setting up for the push over towards C, which Crimson is trying to foreshadow here for the rest of his team. Does have actually people up with him, but Obey, they have the answer to it. They're well set up, but for Elevate there, you would love to have more members over towards B. Of course, we can see everybody on the minimap. They cannot. This is looking really good for a round for Obey here, has to be said.
Yeah. They just need to get those points in tick. I mean, 1 break, that'll swing it, so it's so careful. And you can see now, the push is coming across the top side to the C hill. Elevate are pushing through. They're going to get this decap. It's not going to be in
Oh,
time,
God.
actually. The double decap comes in, though, and that's perfect from Elevate. That really is. That's going to be enough. Surely it's got to be enough now. There's no one at the B hill whatsoever. And Elevate, once again, they time it to perfection.
Oh,
so
they do
good
it
at
every
it.
week.
Yeah,
They do it every single week. Looks like all is lost, and then all of a sudden, a couple of kills, an outmaneuver. They lock it down. Very easily done. OB Alliance not looking great for them here. They did most of that round right, in fairness. I like that from them. The push came in from Elevate up top. They got a hold of B down low. Nicely set up and just get out rotated. Elevate there at every single point. 2-0 now, looking good. Flashes and loadout is all we have. It's nothing too different right now. Wouldn't surprise me to see a mid drop once again.
Well, they got to try something, haven't they?
Well, yeah, it needs to be something different.
Yeah, they need to try and force their way through. They need to find a kill somewhere. They need to be, the team trying to force Elevate to play their game. That's what Rated R do so well and did so well on this map against Elevate. Was that they forced the plays and they found those early kills. A lot of that came through strikers in this corridor exactly, finding that Opay straight off the spawn. But Opay, they just don't seem to want to play as aggressive.
Oh, all right.
Talking about aggressive, though, we do see a nice little push there coming from them. And a double kill going their way. TJ does roll out into the open there, getting crossed down. Ever so dangerous to make a mechanical mistake like that when you're getting shot by two members. J-Rage gets out as well with the skin of his teeth. And Breaker trying to offer a little bit of support and fire here.
It's not the best angle, but he'll be able to put something in at least.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. Sit on the wall and try and shoot through as well, the circular wall. And that's not a bad shot, but either way, it's a bit tough to get those shots to fit flushly through those bars here. And now the push comes through though. Breaker leading that charge. Stuff that Lancer. Going to go with the Nasher instead, and they're pushing very, very hard. But Breaker is such a wide route. He's actually left Ashens to do it all by himself. What's happening at the other side? That's the question.
Well, thankfully, Ashens does get the kills. And C will be in the favor of OB Alliance, but oh god, Phelpsy. What's happened there then?
Don't know. Looks like it's going to be a domination though.
Oh, I mean, J-Rage has just taken a couple of bullets and said, "Oh, you're around the corner." Didn't realize. Finds the kill, and OB Alliance are suddenly looking like they're going to find a round. Win condition is with them. C, nope, still in the hands of Elevate. TJ and Saki do drop Jack and Crimsons, but Crazed playing medic right now and is going to get them up. J-Rage caught in the middle of nowhere there. He's going to get dropped. Can Elevate get back into this round like they did in the previous? Crazed now getting beat all alone. The numbers are with Elevate as well. They should be able to lock this one in. The win condition will go over towards them as well. 65 seconds to hold B and C. And we can see them being aggressive over towards A as well. Give them an inch and they will try to take a mile. Crazed and Code now pushing forward.
Yep, that they are. They need to do something about it. I mean, obviously they've got the point lead. Not they've got the point lead, they've got the tick in their favor, right? Swarm will win in 45 seconds, but a decap could see Obey Alliance doing exactly what Elevate did to them this round. Flashbang gonna go up by Craze, the push maybe following. Nope, nothing gonna come up with that, just opening a bit of room for some supporting fire here, and a mistake there from Crazed means he's gonna take a lot of damage here, and J-Rage gonna push aggressively. Crazed is gonna go down, yep, that's a good kill there for Obey. Now they need to turn this one into a cap. If they can get that, they might be able to get themselves around here. Breaker with some good supporting fire.
Oh, that's not the kill feed you want to see, though.
No. Breaker just needs to be annoying here. Just needs to delay Elevate, sorry, as long as he possibly can. He's doing well. He's done all right. But now the A-Hill fight. Oh, that is beautiful from Breaker. If you can get the cap, that's the round done. You can see Elevate. They're pushing on the home hills, but that kill there by Breaker is going to seal it, even though his teammates are closing it out around them. Obey Alliance, they'll get on the board. They will get their first round.
Well, there you go then. Very well done by Obey in the end, and it's a good job that Breaker did actually make the kill in the mid there. The push came through from Elevate. At least the decap over towards him might have been enough. Elevate 2-1 to the good now. Obey maybe trying to get back into this one once again, but that's really big play out of Breaker. Incense coming in. No surprises there. Incense so strong at the moment. So strong. On those home hill picks as well. coming through on the side of Elevate also. So here we go. Elevate still in the lead, 2-1 now. Obey trying to get back into it. Lives will be reset. Let's keep an eye on who could be a bit of a detriment to their team in that respect anyway. Ashens and TJ on 1, and on the other side of things, absolutely nothing in that sort of danger anyway from Elevate. So can they close this one out at the half at 3-1? Or can Obey Alliance tie it up?
If Obey are going to tie this one up, they need to make this round pretty quick. As you said, those lives, they're not looking too great for Obey. And now with Ashens dying there, he's going to be coming back out on 0. Another good kill there from Jackfex coming in. J-Rage will fall. TJ. Oh, this is going to be an easy double. That was lovely there from Elevate. Saw them just picking their mark, right? As soon as the down came in, they knew to split. They knew to grab a down each.
Saki died to the lasers again for him.
No.
He did.
Is he trolling?
I don't know if it was a fight or... I mean... I don't know what to say. I haven't seen the fight when they've happened, so I maybe want to go back and have a look to see if there was anything on the minimap going on of
That's what we need. We need
how
that
that's managed to
instant replay
happen.
feature.
Yeah. Come on, Matt. So now.
We'll talk to Matt. We'll talk to Matt. Dear. Matt Fasaki, though, I mean, at least he's got lives to play with. He might be giving more lives to the lasers than Elevate at this point. Ashens and TJ down on 0. One more death, and this is going to be game over for them, or at least round over and half over for Obey. Flashbang being prepped.
It's prepped for quite a while there, Breaker. Lining it up. I mean, Saki running into the middle of nowhere, but the help is there from his teammate. Nice shots onto Hydron. So there we go. This push comes in from Obey. Breaker, a little bit overzealous there. He's going to get picked apart. Elevate will back on down, licking their wounds somewhat, as Obey did actually manage to find a kill there, but can they find much else? Elevate, happy to lock down the middle of the map. They have lost A, will regain it now. But Ashens and TJ can't be the first ones in. They have to wait on everybody else respawning to then make the push. As this round might as well be over if Ashens and TJ do go down.
And now, yeah, with those incendiary grenades, so easy to find the kill. You see Breaker's going to go down here. J-Rage falls as well. That's going to be J-Rage down to 0. And all the while, Elevate ticking up this point lead. It's going to be a big push from Obey if they manage to win this one now. You can see Saki going to be the leader. Does get taken down. He has the lives to spare. Breaker's going to fall as well. Both of them are going to get taken out very, very easy here. Oh, Ashens does find a kill on Craze, but it's going to be too little too late, surely.
Ashens is a great player.
Oh, he is.
He's a really good player. Just a shame things aren't working for Obey right now. 3-1 to Elevate now. Looking solid. Every time we watch Ashens, though, he does seem to try and do something. Really setting at 8 kills, 6 assists, 8 deaths. Not too bad. But not quite enough for his team to really be in this game. You feel Elevate needs to... Would it be rude if they didn't allow Obey to get one more to just make a 5-2? I feel as if it would be.
Yeah, I think they've set a precedent now.
They have, haven't they? Right, then, come on, Obey. Show me something. Give me the mid drop. No, that's not it. That's not it.
Nothing at all, is there? There's no desire to go away from the kind of status quo on this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, a couple of the rounds have been relatively close, but, you know, I mean, I don't want to say...
I feel like if you let Elevate's best map through the first phase, you must know they're going to pick it against you. You've got to know that. So you should surely have something prepared for this. Something.
I mean, they allowed Asylum through as well, but Elevate banned that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I kind of feel like it's such a... Yeah, it's such the high percentage chance that Elevate are going to pick this map if you let it through the first time that if you're doing it, you should have something prepared.
Oh, crazed. He's not going to...
That's disgusting.
Good lord, J-Rage has had his pants pulled down. Yeah,
yep.
Well...
Yeah. Different class.
Yeah. Crazed, having fun. Finds the 2 somehow in that fight. Now a bit. They have to sit back. They have to wait for something to materialize for themselves. Push comes through. Hydro is going to get dropped by TJ. Now can the push come through from Obey Alliance? It's such a high line from Elevate as well, though, aren't they? They're just basically in the spawn of Obey at this point. Ash and Zuko are going to be able to push out, though. And there you go. A couple of kills going their way. Jack is going to go down. Can they get a hold of E here, though? Of course, the points don't move on exhibit.
Yeah.
Cray's going to have to back on down. Ashen's now not in a great spot. Will back down himself, but they should be able to get a hold of E here. A couple of drops did come through. So Obey, win condition will be with them. However, they all really need to stay alive for that to happen. J-Rage and Ashens are going to drop. E back in the hands of Elevate.
Phelpsy again, styling on TJ there. Finds a lovely kill. Now a bit of crossfire coming in. Breaker's going to go down. Breaker's going to go out. Elevate. Are they going to push forward? I don't think they are. I think they're just going to respect that. They know that Saki is alive somewhere. I think they know he's upstairs because you can see number 9 Hydron falling back to support his teammate Jack on that home hill. They don't want to give away their home. And that's why they're not going to push too far out. It just spreads them too far if they do go that far between one another and they can't support one another. And that's one thing Elevate do so well is they're almost always, you know, in a pack of 2 and a pack of 3. And, you know, each pack can usually support one another. Phelpsy now going to get taken out. Swarm going to win in another 10 seconds, though. They should have done everything.
Well, that should be it for Elevate. Put themselves within a round and winning this one fairly comfortably. I mean, very comfortably. Has to be said. 4-1 now. Everyone in here looking for the skins. I appreciate you. Very nicely done. 643 viewers. We'll have to see that. Hopefully you do stick around and keep an eye on the games. And I absolutely promise that the second game will be closer.
Yep.
God, I hope.
We can say that as a given.
Last
time Regal and Rated R matched up, it was a fantastic series. It really was one of the best series as we've had ever on the Pro League, and we've said that a couple of times this quarter already. I know
there's been some crackers, and
but there has
been
been
games
some
like
really
this.
good series. Apart from this one, this single series has been the only letdown. I think we have to say this is going to be the most one-sided game we'll see.
Yeah. It unfortunately has to come to pass every now and then that we do get games like this. Whitewashes in... I mean, it's not whitewash, you know, they are getting rounds, but in anything. Sometimes not the most entertaining to watch, but we've seen some good play out of Elevate. I think we have to appreciate that they're putting in a good amount of work. They're a very, very good team, and you know, for all that we are. So I don't think we're berating Obey, but to the point of, you know, we do want them to do better. You know, that's what we want, and that is despicably good from a Hydron once again. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that one. Fire the Observer, but Hydron picks up 3. 70 kills, 10 assists, 6 deaths, and this might be the final round. You feel like it definitely is going to be. Obey Alliance now pinned back. Hydron finds 3. Phenomenal out of him. Shots coming in now. With the ball talk, we'll have to back on down Saki. He's up top, finds a kill. Thankfully, this time not on himself.
No.
Crimson's going to drop down.
Yeah, he's got himself all the way around
well.
here. Problem is he's stuck between 2 members of Elevate and Crim, who's going to come off spawn.
Yep.
The question is, what does he do? He fights Crazed in the 1v, and Hydron doesn't even go into support. Literally just sits still and waits for Crazed to deal with the problem. Crimson's went straight out of the main door as well. They had full confidence that Crazed was going to win that. That's something special. When you've got that much confidence in your teammates, you know you're in a very good team.
Hydron just waiting for the push. Trying to force it out of TJ here. But if you're Obey, you're the ones that have to move. He's still in the control of Elevate. 60 seconds for Obey to do something. First drop comes through though. Ashens now, Saki following. Not quite cleaned up, but maybe the damage is done. Maybe Elevate are going to be able to make the push yet. The kills start to flurry on through. That's a couple down for both 2 teams here. Breaker is going to find Crimson's in the midst of this as well. Craze though, putting the flash out. Saki in a bad spot. Will have to back on down, just slowing down the push. That was inevitably going to come out of Obey. Saki still getting buttered up, but here comes J-Rage. See you later, Crazed. Ashen's going to drop his own teammate, but thankfully for him, Saki will find Hydron, and they will be able to get the revive coming in there. But if you are Elevate, they still have control of D. The win condition is surely going to go with Obey, though.
It's huge. If Breaker can get this is big. Good meat shield there by Breaker as well. He is going to get taken out in the end, but you know he's drawn a lot of attention there, and he's traded out 1-for-1 in a 3v1 situation. That should have given his team enough time to set up and try and force maybe another kill here. That they haven't able to find anything, and that for me is that's disappointing for Obey. You know, Breaker's, he's done a lot there to try and give your team some time to find the pick. And you've kind of sat back here. J-Rage going to run through the fire, gets himself out. And, you know, the COG team will win in 15 seconds, but it'd have been a hell of a lot easier if it was 4v5 and not 5v5.
Elevate now, looking for that typical final 10-second switch. They're not going to find it this time, and of course it would, as said, be against the rules if Elevate weren't to win this 5-2, so they've given Obey Alliance their second round. Nicely done by Obey, though. We'll lock this one in. 3 minutes and 7 seconds is all it took, but a good round at the end. They just did what they need to. But Elevate now will look to close this one out. 4-3 maybe gets a little bit, not quite squeaky bum time, but they'll want to close this out as soon as they can.
Yep. Yeah, definitely so. I think that was a good round from Obey. They played it well, and they got the kills that mattered, and they held a good point lead. Question is can they do it again? Can they repeat it? And looks like they're just going to go match these incends, our Elevate, and we're still even across the board here. We've got those incends down to 60 seconds now, and we're going to see them coming up and be ever so more apart in these rounds as they tick to those later stages.
Can Elevate close this one out? Hydron's had a good game here. He must have heard you in that first map, you know. I think that's it.
He's got to make it up, hasn't he? You know.
Yeah. Make it up through is what he thought. Break it. Yeah, it's going to catch one in the head, but Melee Flesh Wound is able to back on down. Nobody ain't making the move over towards E yet. Hydron is going to be flashed up, though. Has to back on down. Ashens is down to the Incend, though. That's a great flash out of Hydron. Not able to find anything for it. Probably going to go down here as well. Just about gets away. Does have backup here as well. Oh my god, no. Saki. Oh.
Saki's going to go down as well. Oh, Saki, that's unfortunate. Had the flank as well, and he gets the down, not the instant gib. Tries to trade his life for it, but the team off spawn from Elevate pick up that kill very, very easily. In the end, it's actually a 1-for-0. Breaker now in a good position to try and defend on the Aquarium side, but nothing coming out just yet. Phelpsy pushing down, has got support with him. Breaker wise to back off here.
Yep.
Doesn't want to get caught out, especially.
Obey are the ones in control, though. They do have E. Elevate momentarily did have the numbers, but not quite now. The break comes through. That will be decapped over towards E. And here come the rest of Elevate. They'll push through Aquarium side. Breaker doing his best to back them on down and does enough damage to threaten Phelpsy. The rest of their team are there, though, to try and make this push. Nobody able to quite break this war of attrition. Good shots by Hydro, but is going to get caught for his efforts. Ashens will find him and clean up as well. Gets aggressive, as does Breaker. Finds one on the Phelpsy. Is this the start of the Obey comeback? Ashens is going to drop, though. Breaker finds another down and will clean this one up. Breaker having a much better map here, has to be said. Yes, okay, he's only sitting at 8 kills, 5 assists, and 12 deaths, but
he's finding those openings, though, for his team.
He's finding some big kills. It has to be said. He's
also absorbing a lot of pressure with the 1v3 the previous round up top. And just then, he was in a 2v1 situation for a long, long time. Obviously, did have the the support of some teammates, Lancer Fire coming in from the side, but he was positioning himself correctly. He was keeping that spacing, putting some good damage down, and not letting himself get too red either. And that's all he needs to do for his team. If he can do that and get a couple of downs here and there, that's good play.
D seems to be the target for Elevate. Saki is set up with the Lance, is going to take the flash though, but answer back in kind. Hydron has put it up here. Saki though does have 2 of them round. I don't know if Hydron meant to bring the pistol out, but Phelpsy is eventually the one that will drop him. Saki goes down for his troubles though, and D will go into the hands of Elevate. Have to do something pretty sharpish so that win condition will stay with the Obey Alliance. Flash coming down here, Crazed. Has to get rid of J-Rage, who's just going to try and be a nuisance.
That's a great kill as well.
Finds one, finds the second as well. Really well played by J-Rage. This should be another round for Obey. They get the home hill back. They only need one for another 15 seconds, but here comes the rest of Elevate. Have to push. Saki has to survive here, and he does just that. Finds the kill. TJ finds another one mid-map. That's another round for Obey Alliance. 4-3 now.
That's it. They said screw the rules. They want a few more rounds this time around. That was a good 1v1 there, actually, by Saki. Just held his distance, held his shot, landed the spread that he needed to hit. That's why he sat right at the top up there. You can see him. 3,500 points or so. And trying to lead his team here to a first map win against Elevate. It would be big for them, especially in the standings as well. It'd help, close that gap between them and Regal Reserve, who are just a couple of points ahead now.
Let's see, though. Can they get anything done here, Obey? One more round to tie things up. Which way is it going through? Do you think they find another? Do you think we see round number 9 here? Or do Elevate switch it up?
I'd love to see that 9th round. I really would. I'm not sure if we're gonna. It's definitely not. Oh, what's going on there? I don't know what was going on there from from Elevate. But what I was going to say was that we've definitely seen Elevate lose many rounds in a row before. Online. We've seen them choke a couple of wins that should definitely be theirs. So it wouldn't be against Elevate, but against Obey Alliance, that'd be something new for them, that's for sure. And for Obey, this is a fantastic comeback so far. You'd love to see it keep going, right? You want to see that round 9 come through.
Let's see if we can get it. If Saki can avoid the lasers up top, that's part of the challenge.
It's a big question.
He's already fallen twice to them. It's a good flash from Jack, though. We'll force them back in. Gain a little bit of priority on this position. Will back on down, though. Doesn't have the right-hand cover there. Oh, he's been buttered up here and has to back on down. Ashens is going to go drop, though. So this may now allow the rest of Elevate to engage. They already have Ease in their hands. Shots coming through with the Lancer also. Crimson's with the Incend. Will he find much for that? Grazed will find J-Rages. Be sent to the respawn queue. TJ is going to get cleaned up, though. Elevate seemingly flicking a switch here, but the overextension over towards D is very, very nice. From one member, that's actually Saki. He's managed to avoid the lasers, get all the way over to the other side and decap D. So nicely done. That will alleviate some of the pressure somewhat as Saki does go down for his troubles. Ashens, though, 0 respawns for him. Has to be so careful.
Very, very careful. And this always seems to be the question for Obeys. You know, have they got enough lives remaining to actually be in the round long enough to win it? We've seen them win by points. We haven't seen them win by domination. And it's one of those things where you need lives to be able to get to that end game, to be able to get right back to the end of the round. And when you've got one member on 0, it makes things ever so difficult. But this round and the next round can be very, very tense for Ashens. See, he's sat on 15 deaths. That's not where they want to be right now, but that's why he's now up top. He's playing a very, very defensive game now against Phelpsy, and Phelpsy will want to push this.
Breaker trying to put the Lancer Fire in here. They managed to decap E at least. And they need to go a step further if they want to see that round number 9. Incense up for Phelpsy. And now it's just a waiting game for Elevate. They can sit back. They don't have to do anything here. The win condition belongs to them on a 1 cap. I'd be very surprised if that's how the round ended, of course, but Obey Alliance are the ones that have to make a move, and the problem is that they've got Ashens on 0 respawns. He has to sit back, but could it be on the back of these Incense? Saki sends one out, can't find anything with it. We'll force them off the cover, though, and they will get a little bit of positioning over Elevate here in the middle of the map, but Breaker is going to go down in the midst of all of that. He hasn't landed in the hands of Obey Alliance either. Saki goes down. Hydro looking for the kill onto TJ. Has Jack Vex in tow as well. We'll find that. E belongs to Elevate. It's 1-1 condition. It's going to be cut in half. It's 10 seconds. You need to do something if you're Obey.
Yep, they're done. They're gone.
That's it.
Obey Alliance. Yeah, they're going to lose. They can't get all the way to that D hill. Elevate. They're going to clutch it up once again. They come out. They get the kill with that Incendiary, and they've won that one 5-3. And in the end, it was a good performance from Elevate. They look a bit shaky in the middle there, but they come out and win it, right?
Yeah, Obey did threaten, has to be said, but Elevate looking ever so strong once again. 5-3 in map number 2, 5-2 in map number 1 on training grounds. Simple enough for Elevate. And it was as expected, You know, I hope, you know, if Obey are watching this back at any point, feel that we aren't bashing on them, but we just want to see them do better. We really, really do. Elevate, fairly comfortable in that one. They did create a little bit of a problem for them, though, towards the second half of that exhibit map, but 5-3 is a comfortable score for Elevate in the end. They get it done, and that is all she wrote for that one. Elevate 2-0, and will continue to climb on forward. Only 1 loss against Rated R, and will want to right that wrong, you feel, at some point. But Obey, I don't want to feel like as if, you know, we're berating them, but how much positive feedback can you give to a team who haven't won a series yet this season? It's very, very difficult.
In 2 seasons, I mean, it's getting dire for them. I will say though that performance wasn't bad. They do spend too many lives, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And you know they've got the curse that Regal had. They just keep dying. They honestly do.
Yeah.
They like it. We saw the first map there was 3 members down on 0 in that last. You just can't get to that situation where you have so fewer lives than the opposite team, because it's so easy to take advantage of that. It forces you to play differently. And we're seeing it time and time again, that Obey mounting a comeback, look very good, and then right at the end, they lose their lives. They don't have enough respawns to play as they would like to play. You saw the the placements up top got switched. Saki and Ashens had to switch up, and Ashens was a key part in that fight downstairs. He was one of the reasons they were winning it. And to take him out of that equation, it's a big blow, and it means that Elevate in the end can come through and actually win a round and close it out.
Yeah, nicely done from Elevate in the end, though. Interested to see how the rest of their season does go. I'm really looking forward to them seeing them play Regal and Rated R once again to see where things really do lie, because I don't think any of the questions have really been answered past the halfway point. Rated R obviously are looking flawless. Regal Reserve looking to try and upset that, though. That's going to come up next after the break. Rated R against Regal Reserve. You don't want to miss this one.